If you've been following our channel, you realize that we love cohorts. It's true, they are amazing, but there is a problem. As you go on, over time, your oldest cohorts actually carry the least amount of data. Your most recent cohort has a lot of data because a lot of people are now using your product. So how do you combine the two of them together? We have a beautiful solution. We call it Synthetic Cohorts. We're actually pretty excited to share it with you. So let's dive in. Welcome to the Deep Dive channel. Deep Dive helps founders like you analyze your business like VCs like us. Now we're gonna take cohort analysis to another level. We had a previous video called the Cohort Analysis PhD. If you haven't watched it yet, I encourage you to do so. We're gonna kind of go from PhD to a postdoc. It's gonna be a little bit more advanced, but I think you will see that it's gonna simplify your life tremendously if you use Deep Dive. The problem we have fundamentally is that our oldest cohort have these amazing long tails, takes up the most amount of screen real estate, but has the least number of users in it. They are sort of uncharacteristically loyal. My most recent cohort, maybe like 1 or 2 months ago, has tons of people because I've been growing. Yet, how do I bring those two aspects together? How can we predict or see what's gonna happen with my most recent cohort? So Nick's gonna walk you through our synthetic cohort analysis. It's built into Deep Dive, automatically comes for free.
Given that you've outlined the problem set here quite well, your oldest cohorts will have few customers in it. They will take up the most screen real estate. These light blue cohorts, I have 18 months worth of data here. I can imagine that, hey, this is my performance going forward. Where my most recent here, dark blue or even orange, are my latest cohorts, I only have 2-3 months worth of data for them, and therefore it's hard to tell what will really happen to them. One feature that we've built out is what we call synthetic forecasts or synthetic cohorts. And what we do here is create these dotted lines to predict where will these cohorts most likely come in the long term if all we do is extend them by the historical weighted average month-to-month retention, basically just assuming the retention dynamic will hold identical to as it has in the past, and extending these cohorts from the month forward where we run out of data, and can then see is that given that these orange cohorts were outperforming the historical average in older cohorts within the first couple life months, they will most likely outperform them in the long term as well, and asymptote, at around like the 60-65% mark, where the historical average was only at about 46% in this case.
And if you go into Deep Dive and go to the health screen, we'll talk about how this is actually calculated. For example, 6 months ago, you have a whole bunch of cohorts. That's gonna matter a lot more to your current cohort compared to like some cohort that happened 40 months ago. So there's sort of a discounted, weighted approach that we use as well. If you have retention cohorts that can be extended out mathematically accurate based on your history, it opens up a box of other things that you can do inside Deep Dive.
The place where I believe synthetic forecasts are the most powerful is our take on customer lifetime value, which is the cumulative gross profit per customer. I can only see from our most recent orange cohorts only 1, 2, 3 months worth of data of how much lifetime value have these cohorts generated to date, but would really like to know where will these most likely come in down the line, given that I've never invested more into acquiring new customers. I'm accelerating my top line growth here. Where will they, come in further down the line, and leveraging the synthetic forecasting method, I can forecast out where will these most recent cohorts most likely come in down the line from a customer lifetime value perspective as well. And you can see that given that this one, most recent cohort here is outperforming the others after life month 2, it will most likely outperform the others further down the line as well, generating over $1,000 of customer lifetime value after the first year in this instance. And can then apply this also over to our take on LTV to CAC, the core ratio, and blending in where will my most recent cohorts come in from a CAC payback dynamic, and given that they're outperforming the historical average within the first couple months, they will most likely also pay back quicker, in this case, within 6 months, and get to a greater LTV to CAC multiple here in the long term if everything else holds stable as it has in the past.
Now our eyes play tricks on us. Sometimes we want to see where things will go, and they end up not going there. So synthetic cohorts sort of grounds you sort of in reality as best as mathematically you can. So I advise you guys, put your data into Deep Dive, check out our synthetic cohorts. It comes for free, it's automatic, you don't have to do anything for it. And if you have any questions, ask us either on our support line or in the comments below. Thanks again, Nick, and we'll see you guys next week.